Hey, check up. Let's play some D. Welcome to episode 53 of Play Some D with your host, as always, Coach D, in the place to be. And welcome to my random weekly variety, four topic, four quarter hodgepodge mosh pit of topics that I discuss and yeah, get after it. This week. It's just tough to talk about anything but the shootings and gun control and inflation and gas prices. Just to not be insensitive and things like that, you want to, you know, recognize it. I've watched a few or been listening to and watching a few shows that are like you kind of have to say something around it. I feel like everybody should that talks about topics or current events and things going on in the world or country or your country, whatever country that might be. And yeah, the shootings are incredibly sad and unfortunate. Gun control is out of control, but it'll just be a long process before anything real happens. I always tell people, yeah, that it is always awful, but honestly, I'm just shocked it doesn't happen more. So when it does happen, it obviously sucks. You're just hoping it doesn't happen instead of actually having real like preventative measures for it to happen. You just hope it bad mass shootings and things don't happen, but they will. They'll never stop. It'll I was there was a guy listening to a guy yesterday. He was saying how the United States will never get it to zero, which we know that it'll never be zero, but there's been just a ton this year. It's like over 200 and something as me recording this video. And it'll just be a long process. Our government is just it's in bad shape right now, and that will just polarize and make things more divided, which things are already super divided, and it'll just make it worse. So I don't know how much of it will be tackled in the near future, but hopefully it does. But we just hope the people that are the most vulnerable can get some better protection, I guess, which is kids, elderly. Yeah, it sucks. And then gas prices. It's a whole other topic that I was gonna talk about, but then I was like, why even talk about it? Because everybody's just angry about it. So no on the gas prices, they're just high. They're gonna stay high. I always figured the gist of it for me was that they dropped so much and people weren't driving at all that even if there wasn't any form of inflation, I knew the gas companies, oil companies were going to try to recoup their money. People have to drive at some point, and you got to pay for gasoline at this point because electric cars is super. Gasoline with all the cars here, especially in the United States, really across the world. So if you want to drive, go somewhere, ship stuff, get things, diesel and trucks, you're going to have to buy gasoline. So I figured they would. I don't know if they'll ever. I don't know about the drop, but I knew they would. They would replace like they dropped super low, so it's like we're going to recoup our money at some point. And I feel like it's a mixture of other things, but I think that had a lot to do with it. I think that was going to happen regardless. I could be totally wrong, but that was my opinion on gas prices and inflation. Fed chair is trying. Jerome, I'm pretty sure his name is Jerome Powell. I don't know why I always want to call him Jerome Powell. I might be wrong, but he's there. The Feds are trying, so we'll see what happens. And for this week, I'm kind of wanted to go a lot lighter. Honestly, I just really want to go a lot lighter with the topics, and I am. We're gonna talk about the. I said I would recap the playoffs every round. That will happen. Let's talk about online presence. I might go on a super long tangent on that one in the second quarter, but we'll see. Best amusement park. Second half is gonna be all fun, super fun. Just Just wanted to do something. Yeah. Top amusement parks in the world. I'll just run through them quickly and talk about them. And then I'll do a much needed. I probably should have did his first, but I'll do Eminem's album tier list in fourth quarter. But yeah, without further ado, like button, subscribe button, you know how that go. Notifications, you can do all that stuff. But I'm gonna tip it off with the NBA playoffs in the first quarter. We have. Let me get it up here on the screen. You know what I'm missing. All right. So this is what we have. We have a nice grand old NBA Finals, but before I get there, my prediction, which is kind of known, but this Dallas and Golden State series was. I thought it would be in 5. It wasn't 5. Golden State was just better. They just had them outmatched. I mean, Luka really had to go crazy in order for it to be something. And he played pretty well, but just the other guys just didn't give a whole lot. So yeah, they got the gentleman sweep. Dallas has to do a lot more to be a contender for next season because the West will be better. Golden State, they're going to be on this run for a while, depending on how the young guys develop from Poole to Wiseman, Moody, and Steph's going to be shooting. Steph and Clay's going to be shooting well for a while, so they can run some off here, but they're just always, at least right now, they're just out physicaled in almost any series they play in, so that could hurt them, and we'll see if it does end up hurting them in the finals. Before we get there, once again, we're going to go over here to this 7-game series that shouldn't have went 7, but it did. It's good for the fans, good for the league. Boston was the better team. They were better. And what all that really matters is the better team 4 out of 7 games. And they were. Miami, the 3 games they won, they were the better team. 4 games Boston won. They were the better team. It kind of goes like that. And Boston just has better players. Their 2 best players were better. They had the 2 best players, I believe, in the series, arguably. I mean, Tatum, and then it's Jimmy or Jalen, probably whichever you want to take. Jimmy obviously played way better than Jalen, but Jimmy also has some stinkers, a couple of stinkers that in his eyes, I'm sure in others, that probably cost them that series. Tyler Hero got hurt. Bam, I don't know what he was doing out there in some games. But Miami had the guys. I think Boston had just a better ensemble of a team, and the coaching was somewhat even. People love Eric Spoelstra, but I think he's a decent coach. He's probably above average, but I think he gets way more glory than he really deserves. There's just my opinion. I think he's good. I think he'll always be a coach as long as he wants to be, but he's just not this grand wizard that everybody feels like he is. There's not many coaches that are, so just to be fair. To get to Game 7 and really the play of the series was Jimmy Butler's 3. Everybody else agrees with it as soon as he shot it. I couldn't believe he shot a 3. I just think you should play to your strengths. I just don't think you should be a hero. I think he does take the shot, but I feel like he should take a shot that he goes to. I think his go-to shot, and that's just not it. Maybe get to the basket. Maybe just get a little bit closer. Maybe try to get fouled. Shooting a 3 just seems so much hero-ish, and you're still only up 1, and Boston's going to get, going to be able to draw a play. I just think you should secure a easier basket instead of a fun, good story basket, because that wasn't like it was a walk-off. There was still time left. but it was a big ball shot. If it goes in, he's the hero. He's still the hero because that's what you really do want, though. You want your best player taking that shot, and honestly, that's a lot. That's what you ask for. You want your best player to take the last shot of the game to send you to the finals or send you to a championship. If it's all down the line, you want that guy to take it. So at least he did get the shot up. Going into the NBA Finals, I'll recap this as well once it's over. But I originally picked Milwaukee to win the finals. I said Milwaukee Boston was basically the Eastern Conference Finals, which either way, we got two good series out of Miami and we got a good series out of Milwaukee and Boston. I did pick Milwaukee. I am going Golden State now. I'm really on the fence with that because I think Tatum and Jalen have the advantage for sure. But I'm going to go with experience unless something weird happens. If Steph and Clay are off, which is highly likely, which is why I'm leaning towards Boston, then Boston will win this baby fairly easily. If Steph and Clay aren't playing well, and they tend to be dicey, sometimes, I guess you could say. But I'm gonna go with veteran leadership and just an assortment of more talent. But if Boston imposes their will, which Memphis was trying to do before they figured out like the big physicality aspect of the game, and if Boston does that, if they're in the paint, if they're grabbing rebounds, they're going to win this series. I just don't know if they're going to do that. I think they'll probably get distracted by the moment, and Golden State's been here so many times. That's just the only reason I'm picking them. But I may be wrong, and it's really, really a coin flip. Either team can win. Boston probably should win. If everything was equal, like if Golden State hadn't been here before and they were both new, because Boston's basically new here. All their players are new here. If Golden State was new here too, I would pick Boston. But I'm going to take experience, even though I'm not that type of guy that usually picks experience. But I'm going to pick experience and Golden State has a home court. If Boston had a home court, I'll probably flip that. I thought Boston was going to have a home court, but Golden State had the better record. That's why I originally liked Boston, because I always thought Boston's going to have home court. Milwaukee wouldn't have mattered, but Boston's going to have home court. But I was totally wrong about that. So I'm going to go with Golden State. And yeah, that's conference finals recap of NBA. We're almost at the winding down. Inside the NBA is done. That's a great show. And the finals tip off on Thursday, 6 p.m. 9. The games start too late on the East Coast. They should be at 7:30 really, 7:38 ish, something like that. But gotta let people get off on the West Coast. I guess is the thing. All right, so quarter number 2 is about online presence. It's an Atlantic article. Is online presence a turnoff? And I would say yes. Me personally. That's also on a overdoing it type of thought process. Like that's like this article talks about like being on everything, being in front of your phone, all the time. And I think that they call it onlineness, to be chronicle or terminally online is to be deeply involved in the digital world, that by your own you are condemned to esoteric, unpleasant, or toxic content that's often part of it. I don't totally agree with that. It doesn't have to be. You could be online and be, looking at nature, birds and feathers, and how to make, chicken masala, tiki, whatever recipe. You could be online doing good stuff with your time. But I do think, yeah, it probably does revolve around some pretty toxic behavior. But I really swung towards this topic is because online presence. Every time I get a chance to mention online dating, I like to, because it should be over. They should shut them all down, because that's a part of it. Because once you start doing a number of things, buying groceries, shopping, finding your partner, once you start doing everything online, you literally start doing everything online. So I think some stuff just needs to go away, and then also the social aspect of updating. It should just be more social, and it shouldn't be more like shopping. Uh, and I think it's just a carryover effect that makes it all build up into that online presence that can become a turnoff, because everything you do revolves around the internet. So it mentions, of course, heavy social media use really can threaten a relationship. Tension can arise if one partner shares photos, personal news without the other's consent. Cyber cheating can be lead to heartbreak. So that's the idea of all of this online content, all this online behavior, is that it starts to spill over, and then your life becomes online. Everything is online. So yes, you want to post a photo, or you want to post news, and you want to talk on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and post everything you eat and every new shoe you buy, or every outfit. That is, there's a lot of different things that come with that. But if you're not with somebody that likes that type of stuff, you're probably gonna have some issues. And that's kind of what I was going to reiterate at the beginning when I started talking about this, is that it's not, online presence isn't a turnoff if both people, whether we're talking about intimate relationship or just a friendship relationship, if how involved you are in both, and if both people like that. So if you both have an online presence and you guys are together, you'll be fine. If both of you have an online presence, or you don't really mind your friend posting online all the time, it doesn't matter. But if it gets annoying, where like friend becomes this annoying, pesky person that's always online, sending you memes, sending you this, sending you that, but always wanting to text, always, not wanting to call, not wanting to chat. Um, if you don't like that type of stuff, it could be a huge turnoff. It could be a turnoff for family too. Like, it's, I think the article specifically is speaking of, I'm kind of, this is about partners and relationships, but I'm kind of going deeper with everything. It's, everything you do, the companies track your data. That's what they want. They want your data, and giving it to them freely, and not just being aware of that, is a turnoff. Like, just don't be out there posting or giving away like your lifestyle, what your every inner thoughts, because it could be held against you, and it can be a turnoff for, say it's for, I mean, this is obvious, but say you found an amazing job that you qualified for, you're the best candidate, and you said something weird on Twitter, and they don't like it. The HR person doesn't like it, or your boss, the guy, the person, the person, the guy or gal, the guy or girl, the woman or man that is hiring you doesn't like it. You don't get the job, because your online presence. So it's so much involved to that, and then also, I'm a firm believer in just a little bit of mystique in everything, and not, mystique isn't the word, just a to yourselfness, just not spilling the beans, is it's very, very nice to see, or have a nice trait in a person. Just, they just don't always just talk and post, and they're kind of like, oh, give you a chance to think like, oh, I haven't seen that person post or talk in a while. I hope they're good. And they probably are. And you keep it rolling. But when you see it all the time and you watch what they do and see what they do, and then you be like, oh, I saw you doing that. Oh, you don't know what I do. Like, well, you do that all the time. You post that all the time. I mean, what's the point if that's not what you do? So, and that and the online presence, it circles so far from Facebook. Obviously social media is all the way to, you know, Netflix, watching, everything, like everything being online. Like I said, when everything you do revolves around the internet, it just that then becomes your life. And I think a lot of people are making it really, really tough for themselves to separate that or even want to, because it's just so convenient. And you know, it could be toxic, it could be unproductive, it could be productive and then not toxic. But as far as like what humans are, social beings, it can definitely be a turnoff. Felt like I could talk about that for a long, long time, but I'm really, really not. I'm going to get moving right past halftime and get into the fun half of Play Some D. And third quarter is about amusement parks. So this is so I just wanted to get a brief overview before I went and looked at the top 20 from travel and leisure. This is attendance, right? Yeah, this is attendance. So this is our corporations, which I had no idea was this many amusement park corporations, what makes things so nice. I thought it was only like a couple corporations that ran amusement parks, but to see that it just is 10 on here in the world is nice to see. To be quite honest, Walt Disney obviously tops it off. Merlin's Entertainment got Universal in here, which is Six Flags and SeaWorld. I thought they were together, but we wrong. And Cedar Fair. Um, this lists the top 25 the singular amusement parks in the world. North America's down here, but I'm just gonna stay stay in the worldwide because I was more interested in the worldwide. Obviously, that 2020 number is dead. Is that's COVID, so I wouldn't really count that. Uh, that Walt Disney World tops the list. Looks like can't believe Disneyland is this high. I haven't been in forever. Universal's pretty darn high too. Oh, what's this? Tokyo, all Disney stuff. What else is high? 17, 18. So all the Disneys are the three highest. And then looks like what 14.6 comes in next. Disney Sea. That sounds actually like it's probably cool. Ooh, another 14 is Universal Studios Japan. Pretty cool. And then the Animal Kingdom. They even separate. That's just crazy how dominant Disney is. Actually, I will check out. The only reason I want to check out is for Cedar Point here. I just wanted to see where Cedar Point stacked up. Universal Florida. Why is it Universal Florida on here? Islands of Adventure. Let's see. Oh, it is. It is. I'm tripping. Tripping. Yeah, so interesting. San Diego, SeaWorld. Yeah. Great Adventure. Magic Mountain. I don't even know what this is. All right, so just interesting stuff there. Now to get into travel and leisure has 20 best amusement parks. I don't even think it is ranked. It doesn't look like it is ranked. But Here's the article: 20 best amusement park in the world. That Disney Sea. This place. I did click on the article and see this, and this place looks like grand old fun. Disney Park, United States, which is this is be Disneyland. Oh yeah, Disney Park, Disneyland is up there in the top 20. I don't even know. Disney World Resort is a permanent World's Fair. I don't know. That doesn't sound very fun. Uh, Denmark. This is probably just a lovely, just fantastic place. Universal's Island of Adventure. The Netherlands got a cool place. Magic Mountain is a good time. See, I used to go. I have looked at Cedar Point. I really want, it's one of my favorites. Been to a good amount of amusement parks. Not a whole lot, but a good amount. And I feel like I'm not a huge fan, but they are fun for a couple days out the year. But I don't thrive to go to amusement parks. It's a lot of walking, tiring, expensive. And I'm not a huge roller coaster guy. They kind of make me a little sick, but it's fun going with the family and just hanging out. Disney's Animal Kingdom. I would love this. All about the animal stuff. Half zoo, half amusement park. That's right up my alley. Euro Park. This looks just like super fun. Dollywood. I don't know where this is. I have no idea where Dollywood is. Smoky Mountain setting. Busch Gardens. People say Busch Gardens is fun. I was supposed to go when I was younger. Never end up going. This just looks. Look at this. Who wouldn't want to go? Who wouldn't want to go hang out here? Oh, look at all this land. They're just having Magic Kingdom, of course. Oh yeah. Look, we got the Dubai. This is indoor Ferrari inspired, a must visit for car and thrill lovers, home to the world's fastest roller coaster, highest loop ride. Dubai just does it up. Universal Hollywood is fun mainly because you don't have to be there all day. I think that's one of the coolest things I think about it. That's when you're sucked in all day. It really could be. I just think it's a little draining. Everland Theme Park, South Korea, Alton Towers, Shanghai Disneyland, and that's the 20. I was really just interested to see what theme parks. Travel and Leisure seems to get some of the stuff right, or just it's something they know. Travel and Leisure, I don't know, but I looked at a couple of different sites and they all match around the same thing. And when you look on Google, they pretty much go around the same things too. So I guess the top is the top. Totally makes sense. And that was third quarter. Now for the good old. All right, fourth quarter is an Eminem tier list here of his albums. And as always, SABCD doesn't really matter. That is not what I'm going for on these, but just kind of ranking them in order. I probably need a little assistance. I'm going to I think it's I have a thing with listening to the albums before doing something like this because I've heard them all and I don't really need to re-listen to them because it may change how I judge them. So I won't rank Infinite because I never heard it. Slim Shady LP was. I mean, I love this album. I thought it was a superior album. Martha Marshall Mathers. I mean, the next three are all classics in my opinion. Uh, so let's skip Marshall Mathers LP and Eminem show and head on over to Encore. Encore had Toy Soldiers, Just Lose It, Mockingbird. Encore was for sure solid. Let's relapse recovery is where things get a little dicey, uh, even though to me relapse was had crackle. Relapse was kind of good to me. It does fall totally behind. Recovery came out the year after in 2010. Another one that um, no love won't back down. Uh I know Revival was pretty bad. Oh, this is side B. This probably shouldn't be on here. Oh, and that one wasn't good either. The Kamikaze. Some people like Kamikaze. Yeah, I thought Kamikaze was the worst one. Yeah, I thought Kamikaze. This had Venom on it, and that's how bad it was. I think Venom was the best song on it to me. So we'll just keep it between. We'll keep it between. Let's just keep it here with it. Uh, just keep it on these three rows. Leave Infinite out. And then it gets a little. So we can put the bangers up. This was to me Murder to Be Music. Music to Be Murdered By, I thought was very good. I enjoyed this album a whole lot. I listened, yeah. I think this is. I put this over Encore. We'll put Recovery. I think this is the right order. The only Marshall Mathers LP2 was it had Rap God on it. I had Love Game 2. Oh yeah. Oh man, this was I had Berserk. Oh, I definitely would go uh, something like this. These three. See these three. I do think this is a bottom four. So let's do it like that. I do think this is the order of the bottom four. Uh, top three goes very hard for me. LP is last for sure. Eminem show is probably second for me. Sing for the moment till I collapse. Say what you say. White America cleaning out my closet. It goes like this. This is how it should go. This is his best album. One of I mean, this is an incredible album. When I do my artist tier list at some point down the line, somewhere this year, I will do my artist tier list. It's no everybody I speak to, it's no doubt about it. I put Eminem and Jay-Z A1 and AB, A1 and AB, 1A and 1B. It's just how it is. In my opinion, people can argue with that, whatever. But I think they are the two best, and whichever day you're listening to them on, you'll probably put the other in front, unless you're just an Eminem hater because he's white and hip hop is black oriented. Whatever, you can't deny the numbers, lyricism, delivery. Over, in some instances, not the greatest production. Not always his fault, but also it's his sound, which he never really jumped into any weird lane of somebody else's. He always was his own, which is important. Jay-Z, some people say he bit big and he's jumped on different flows and things like that. Eminem has too, but for the most part, he's been very distinct, and the lyrics are superior. So I'll do a artist tier list down the line. It'll be in depth. It might be a whole episode. Actually, it won't be a quarter. I'm pretty sure it won't be a quarter. It'll probably just be its own episode, to itself, just on the side. And yeah, this is my Eminem tier list. Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem Show. Slim Shady LP, Music to be Murdered by, Marshall Mathers LP 2, Encore, Relapse, Recovery, Revival, and Kamikaze. I did not hear Infinite, and I won't put a B-sides in this. So, yeah, that was much needed. I've been clamoring to do that for a bit, and now it is done. Thank you for watching. This was 53. Play some D. This one felt good for me because I kind of been a little worried, not worried, but obviously, like I mentioned in the beginning, there's certain things that just should be talked about. Probably should be a quarter. I probably should discuss gun control and school shootings, but everybody's talking about it, and I just, I touched on it, but I don't, I'll be more interested in talking about some resolution for it, not the bad part about it. I want to talk about, something real happens, how it will help people, and I'll do a quarter on that and stuff like that. So. Yeah, we talked about, we recapped that conference finals for the NBA. Just did the Eminem tier list. Online presence. This is a very interesting article with the Atlantic. Check that one out. And just ran through some theme parks, which I've been thinking about. Theme parks been on my mind lately, so that's how we got that in third quarter. As always, thanks for watching. This was Play Some D. Like button, subscribe button. If you've been to any of those theme parks, let me know in the comments which ones be popping. I think that Eminem tier list is correct. I'm not arguing with anybody about that. Oh, you think we'll win the finals? I'm gonna go to state, just experience, but if Boston figures it out, they'll get it done. Yeah, be safe, be great. Don't drive too much. Them gas prices will run up in them pockets, baby. Walk, run, ride a bike, or get an electric car. No, I'm just joking. That was silly. But yeah, you know how we do. Until the next one, I holla.